Hey guys, Cam here from Pocket-lint, and the iPhone SE for 2020 is heralded by many as the ultimate value in a smartphone. It's compact, it's powerful, and it's an iPhone that costs just over £400. But how does it compare to the iPhone 11? So if you're umming and aahing and wondering what you might miss if you choose the little one over the big model, this video should hopefully help you decide what's important and go for the one that's best for you. So now it's designed where the iPhone SE will undoubtedly appeal to people the most. Its biggest strength is in its compact form. It's so easy to hold and use in one hand. It's a far cry from the iPhone 11, which by comparison is quite big and bulky. And it doesn't matter which dimension you're measuring either, it's smaller. It's shorter, narrower, and noticeably thinner, and actually holding it reminds us of how much we enjoyed using the smaller iPhones in the days of the 6 and the 6S. It's a good 50 grams lighter too, and that's definitely noticeable in a smartphone. Like the iPhone 11, it has an aluminium chassis sandwiched between glass that's on the front and the back, with curves at the edges to make it comfortable in the palm. From the front, it does look a bit dated though, and those big bezels on the top and the bottom are immediately noticeable against the full screen look and the notch on offer in the iPhone 11. But again, that's not without its benefits. Unlocking the phone is as easy as resting your thumb on the Touch ID sensor, and you can get to the control center by swiping up from the bottom of the screen rather than having to reach for the top to bring it down like you do in Face ID equipped iPhones. Both phones feel suitably sturdy, and they're both water and dust resistant. Although if we're getting into technicalities which we're not sure make actually that much real difference in daily use, the iPhone SE is IP67 rated and the iPhone 11 is IP68 rated. And that just means that the iPhone 11 is certified to be submerged slightly deeper in water. Now both phones feature stereo speakers as well, with one near the top placed in the earpiece area and one on the bottom edge. There is a very slight difference in the way they sound. The iPhone 11 feels a little bit warmer, but not much. Both sets of speakers are plenty loud enough. So clearly there's a big difference here when it comes to displays, but maybe not as big a difference as you might assume. Yes, the iPhone 11's 6.1-inch screen is bigger than the 4.7-inch display, and it takes up a lot more of that front surface area too. So if a big full screen is important to you, there's clearly only one choice here. However, when you boil it down to performance, the two panels are virtually identical. The larger one has higher resolution but the same pixel density, and that means they both look as sharp as each other. What's more, they both have the same peak brightness and the same wide color gamut, which means they deliver colors and detail exactly the same. So you're not getting poorer quality panel by going with the smaller one. Colors are vivid, details are sharp, and whites are nice and clean on both displays. Both are bright too, but neither offers the deep black or contrast of an OLED screen, but they're still very good. Now with a lot of 16:9 ratio content out there, the iPhone 11 does tend to black bar some videos, but then you can generally expand those to fit the screen if you're happy to crop out some of the image from the top and the bottom. So onto performance, and this is where the iPhone SE seems very appealing, because despite being a smaller, more compact phone, it's powered by the same A13 Bionic chip that's in the iPhone 11. Now there seems to be a suggestion that it's underclocked for those who care about those types of things, but in daily use, launching games and apps still feels responsive, fast, and fluid. In that regard, it acts pretty much identically to its bigger sibling, because usually when you go for a smaller smartphone, it means compromising on that speed and performance, but here with the iPhone SE, you don't. It's fast and capable, and that means it'll survive a good few years of iOS updates without feeling sluggish and slow. Now battery life isn't the same story, because of course in a phone this small there's not as much room to put a battery in, and that becomes obvious when you use it day in and day out. Now Apple doesn't really talk about battery capacity specifically, but it's clear from day-to-day usage that this battery is considerably smaller than the iPhone 11's. But then in real use terms, the iPhone 11 has one of the best performance batteries on the market. On light usage days, we've even managed to get almost 2 days with it, most days finishing up at bedtime with about 40% left over. With the iPhone SE, the battery drains much quicker. It can last a full day with relatively light or moderate use, but those of you who are heavy users with lots of screen time during the day might struggle to get it past your evening meal. Still, being small means it charges up again relatively quickly, and like the iPhone 11, it's wireless charging capable, so you can pop it on a stand and let it fill up. It can also charge using an 18-watt power delivery charger, but it doesn't come with one, and neither does the iPhone 11. Now onto the cameras, and it only has one, but it is the same primary camera that's in the iPhone 8 and the iPhone XR, which is actually very similar to the one that's in the iPhone 11. So we'll keep this comparison fairly brief. In most instances, it delivers the same results. Side by side, they look almost identical in terms of color, detail, and clarity, but both phones do get a little bit ropey in low light. However, the iPhone 11 has the advantage of night mode. An iPhone 11 has a second camera too for ultra-wide shots, and it can zoom in and out, where the iPhone SE is more restricted to that one focal length. Still, it takes good images and can shoot 4K video at 60 frames per second, just like the iPhone 11, as well as take all the same portrait mode photos from the front or the back cameras. In the end, the iPhone SE is a brilliant compact phone for those who don't want to sacrifice that small form factor. There are compromises versus the iPhone 11, like the battery life, the older style chunky bezels, and the single camera on the back. However, in a lot of important ways, you don't have to compromise at all. It has a great quality screen, performs well, and has wireless charging. Plus, it's compact, lightweight, and fits in your palm easily. Plus, at just over £400 or $400, it's fantastic value for money. Possibly the best value for money smartphone around. From Apple. I've been Cam, I'm at Cam Bunton on all the important social media networks, so you can follow me there. If you have any questions or comments, please do make use of the comment section below, and if you like this video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to see more from us. I'll see you again soon.